You're going to continue taking notes on the next text structure for informational text, which is problem and solution. So your notes should look something like this. You've done 1 and 2. You're going to fill in here. The next type we're going to talk about today is problem and solution. And when you open your notes, they should look like this. You should have the questions answered for compare and contrast and cause and effect, along with the signal words, and then some type of a graphic organizer for the example that we did. And so now you're going to work on problem and solution. So there's really no mystery here when we talk about problem and solution. We're looking at what's the problem that's being written about, and are there any possible solutions? Sometimes they don't have solutions and they're making guesses. Sometimes there might be one solution that they're proposing, and sometimes there might be multiple. So ways to identify when you're reading whether or not a passage is set up in problem and solution is to look for some signal words. So you might see the word issue or problem, solve, conflict, figure out, deduce, and solution. And again, these aren't the only signal words. These are just common ones that we've seen, but based on your vocabulary, you know that if there are different synonyms for some of these words, those are words that you want to look for. So in a problem solution, again, there's really no one right or wrong way to organize information. The purpose of a graphic organizer is just to put information in a way that's easy for your brain to map it out into different chunks. So you could put a central problem and then the different solutions around the outside. You could do kind of like we did with the flow chart for a cause and effect, where you list the problem, explain the problem, and then the solution, and explain the solution. When we look at a graphic organizer, again, we're not looking in complete sentences. We're just looking for big ideas, the most important, crucial information. So let's take a look at an example. And as I read this, I'm going to ask you to pay attention to your notes and look for some of these clue words, these signal words that help you figure out that this was arranged in problem solution. Doctors have identified extended periods of sitting as a potential problem in health conditions, including obesity, heart failure, and some types of cancer. Since it's important that all Americans spend less time sitting, there are several solutions to consider. Furniture designers are producing more standing and convertible desks. Anyone who works at a desk should consider using a convertible desk that can be raised to help solve this issue. Opportunities for standing and walking should be encouraged. All right, so take a second right now and look for any signal words that you see that indicate that this is a problem and a solution. Okay, and I actually see a couple more here. I see problem, solution, down here, solve, and issue are another I could have highlighted. So if I were going to go make a graphic organizer for this, I set mine up in this way because I saw there was one main problem and then they gave 3 proposed solutions. So the problem was that extended periods of sitting for too long is the problem, causing obesity, heart failure, and cancer. So what were some of the solutions they gave to people who have to sit a lot at their jobs? Well, they said they could use a standing or convertible desk. And they talked about raising that desk up so that you could stand and use it at a more comfortable level so that you are standing a little bit more at work. And they talked about walking and making opportunities for standing and walking when you are at work. So somewhere in your notes, or in that last box, you should have written some shorthand version that just kind of shows how this problem was given and that there were 3 different solutions.